Good morning, beloveds. I got up with the alarm and went for a bike ride. And this was the first morning I didn't wake up with my throat like completely raw. So I'm definitely feeling much, much better. I also went to the movie last night. The only problem is because I'm still a little congested and I felt that cough coming and I was like, I'm not doing this in the movie theater. So I hauled my butt out. I missed the murder. Came back after it. We went to see A Haunting in Venice, and oh my God, it was good. It was so good. And I think one of the things that I really like about these movies is that the people in them are real. You know, they're wonderful and flawed, and, you know, nobody is 100% good, nobody's 100% bad. Everybody's that beautiful mix that we see in the regular world. So I don't know if you're a murder mystery fan, but if you haven't seen any of the Kenneth Branagh Hercule Poirot movies, I commend them to you. And yes, there are a few jump scares in The Haunting of Venice, but it's not scary. They did something very early in the movie that put me on guard. So I kind of had an idea of when the jump scares were coming. So I don't think any of them got me. Maybe one. There is a cockatoo in there and that one got me. But I mean, it's a cockatoo, right? So, but overall, I appear to be on the mend. So I know I still sound a little congested, but I'm better. All right, it is September 20th. Our title is Look No Longer. Our author is Agnes J. Gaylor, and this was published in Religious Science Monthly in February of 1929. Enter into the secret place within your own soul. There you will find God's altar established, overshadowed by the wings of wisdom and love, waiting to carry your living message to the heights, to feed the earth's hungry souls. Spirit knows what they have need of. Look no longer for your Lord and Master in the clouds and shadows of earth's sorrow and crying. Lift up your eyes, see the sunrise over the hilltops. Behold a beautiful illumination, the rainbow of God's covenant, the law of God fulfilled in each life, health, peace, joy, unspeakable and full of glory. Wherever I go, my soul is aglow with the love light divine. This is my Lord, my God, my preserver and keeper, my sleepless protector, my uplift. You get titles like Look No Longer, and you're like, what? And then you get readings like that, and you go, what? What just happened here? But she says then in that first line, enter into the secret place in your soul. If you want to find the true altar to God, it does not exist in the material plane. Your true altar, okay? I'm not saying that there are not true altars all over the earthly plane, but your true altar is going to be within. Within. You go within. You go straight to the source of your own being. That is what Science of Mind teaches. Absolutely. Everything you need, you already have within you. You do not need. Now, I grew up Catholic. And so that's one of those things. Is like, there are layers upon layers of people between you and God. You know, I mean, as Catholics, we weren't even encouraged to read the Bible, which, you know, I'm just like, no, go read it. Go read it for yourself. Don't listen to somebody else's interpretation. Go read it for yourself. But you know, you had priests and you had nuns and you had, and saints and just, you know, and then you got to Mary and Jesus, and you had all of these people between you and God. And what Science of Mind says, and there are a lot of religions out there that say, you know, there's nothing between you and God. Rumi And both Hafis say closer to you than your jugular, closer to you than your jugular, closer to you than your very breath. That's what God is to you. The truest altar to God is going to be within your own soul. And when you want to do anything, absolutely anything, that's where you go. You go to the altar within your own soul, and you may be one of those simple people, and it's a simple, little meadow where there's a simple path, you walk it barefoot, you show up in the meadow, and there you are, Or it could be something on par with Notre Dame. That's between you and God. That's between you and God. Nobody gets to tell you what your altar looks like. Nobody gets to define your interactions with God. And if anybody tries to tell you how to interact with God, they're wrong. We can offer guidance, but we can't tell you how to do it, because it's your personal relationship with God. And if I'm going to tell you anything today, that's what I want you to hear. It's like you have a personal relationship with God, with Spirit, with the universe. You have a personal relationship, and it is up to you to cultivate it, to nourish it, because God is waiting for you. The rules say God can't come to you. You have to go to God. That's that free will thing. That's that free will thing. Literally, that free will thing. God is always there and always waiting. There will never be a time that you go to God and God's not there. Okay? But God can't come to you. God can't come to us because God gave us free will. God gave us a choice. So, go. And go regularly. And take all of the paths. Take treatment, take meditation, take music, take going and watching the sunrise. One of the most magical, mystical experiences I ever had was watching a sunrise. We had gone to, it's called Moundville, and in Alabama, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a series of mounds, and I do not remember the name of the particular Native American tribe that created them, but there's like 27 mounds in this particular park, and we were there for a workshop, and it's what I chose to do instead of going to my graduation from Auburn University. I had no interest in graduating with 4,000 of my, people I didn't know. It was like, I wouldn't be sitting next to anybody I knew. I was like, I'm not going to do this. Nobody's going to come to this. I'm just not. So instead I went to this workshop. And that morning, we had gotten permission to climb up on one of the mounds. And so we got out there, and in this really thick white fog, we climbed up onto the top of the mound. And so you look around, and most of them were about the same height, and then there were some that were bigger and some that were smaller. So you look and you see this white soup of fog and these little green islands. And there was a group of us sitting on this green island, and then the sun came up, and it poured this liquid gold sunlight into the fog, and the sunlight turned gold, or the fog turned gold. And it was one of the most magical experiences that I've ever had. And it had nothing to do with religion, and it had nothing to do with church. Was I in a sacred space? Absolutely, I was in a sacred space. I was in somebody else's sacred space. But I was open to the experience. And that's what God asks of us, to be open to the experience. Because you can have magical experiences like that everywhere, anywhere. It's about being open to them. And that's what we don't look no longer. Look no longer. We don't have to go looking for these experiences. They're all around us all the time. It's up to us to be open to them. And to be open to the source of our own being. God will always be there waiting. But we have to go to God. Free will. free will. So, enter into the secret place within your own soul. There you will find God's altar established, overshadowed by the wings of wisdom and love, waiting to carry your living message to the heights to feed the earth's hungry souls. Spirit knows what they have need of. You don't have to answer every call. What you have to do is be willing to answer the call. And you will be guided to what it is yours to do. And you get to ask that question, what is mine to do? So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to enter into the secret place in our own soul. To find that altar that already exists within us and to visit it regularly. That's the mission today. It's the mission every day. It is the mission every day. To find that secret place within ourselves. To find that altar that we were born with. You know, I talk about the Christ consciousness being software pre-installed. God's altar already exists within you. You come pre-installed with it. It's yours. Visit it regularly. Answer that call. All right, beloveds. That is what Agnes had to say to us. You have your mission. The second mission is the same one I give you every day. Do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. Big, small, doesn't matter. The point is to practice on yourself. You are your own best test subject. But more importantly than that, you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. I encourage you to practice on yourself every day with at least one thing. My goal is that eventually everything you do for yourself is loving, kind, and compassionate. Even the hard things. Even the hard things. Especially the hard things. I mean, when we do the tough stuff, that's the best time to be loving, kind, and compassionate with ourselves. And if you can be loving, kind, and compassionate with yourself no matter what's going on in your life, you can be loving, kind, and compassionate with anybody. All right? We want to create a world that works for everybody. We do that by working on ourselves, doing our own work, going to our own altars, established within ourselves. Yep. All right. Okay. So love, kindness, compassion. It can be as simple as taking a deep breath and as much as taking a vacation. Notice I didn't say planning a vacation. I said taking it. Okay. And anything in between. Sometimes it looks like turning the alarm off and taking an extra hour or so of sleep. Some days it's getting up and going for that bike ride. Some days it's recognizing that cough isn't going to stop and getting yourself out of the room. And some days it is, sitting quietly. And some days it looks like eating dessert first. Which means don't save the good stuff. Your life is a special occasion. Please treat it as such. None of us know how long we have. Ruth has been on my mind and heart the last couple of days. And so, she's my reminder. Don't save the good stuff. Do what it is that you want to do now. Because you don't know how long you've got. All right, beloveds. And then I want to remind you, and I do every day. Because the world's been messy and crazy and just all that. Joy is a quality of God. That means joy is a quality of you. No matter what is going on in the world, you deserve joy. So what I would like you to do is to make room for it. Since I'm reminding you that you have an altar established within you, I hope that brings you joy. The knowledge of that. And that you make a point to regularly visit it and you regularly visit it in joy. But I encourage you to make room for joy right now, whatever's going on. Whatever that looks like for you. All right? Okay. The rest of the suggestions are the basic easy ones. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. Drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better. Your body works better. Your skin looks better when you're well hydrated. So hydrate. Drink plenty of water. And get that early in your day bright light. It was nice to get out. I took my sunglasses with me. I only had to wear them a couple of times. but I did get that early in my day bright light to help to reset those circadian rhythms. So I do encourage you between 7 and 9 in the morning, 5 to 10 minutes on your face. It'll help with your circadian rhythms. It'll help with your vitamin D. And vitamin D is super important to a whole lot of things. It affects your mood. It affects your thyroid. It affects your immune system. So, it's something easy that you can do that doesn't cost you anything. So that's why I recommend it. And then, as always, I'm gonna give you my Ernest Holmes quote: "Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time." It's a reminder, as Agnes reminded us today, the best altar to God is the one within you, for you. Please visit all of the altars all over the world, but remember that the best altar to God is the one that you already have established within your own soul. So heaven is a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. Just like that altar in your soul. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. If we regularly visit, we create a well-worn path to the source of our own being, which is a source of that joy, of that love, of that wisdom, of that just beauty that comes from the spiritual, which helps us appreciate it in the material. And when we recognize that heaven is a state of mind, a state of consciousness, that we create it for ourselves, that is a superpower. Because once you learn to do it, nobody can take it away from you. Once you learn that heaven isn't a place you have to get to, but is a state of mind that you create, and it can create it in any place you are. I mean, think how amazing your life is. That with just that, and then all the other things that you can do with that. So, all right. And you can always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. Jessie likes to talk about hardball metaphysics, and the most hardball metaphysician that I know is Emma Curtis Hopkins. Check her out. Look for the good and praise it. Good naturally multiplies when you look for it. It really is that simple. It really is that simple. And there is no better way to change your mood than to count your blessings. All right, beloveds. I guess I'm at the social media part. I will remind you, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So I do encourage you to check into those. There's hours of content. So whatever it is that you might be needing, we probably have something that can at least start you on the path. So feel free to look into that. If you want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact. And then that way you get the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll either take you right to the information or to the person that can help you get it. So we try and put up light, bright, enlightening, funny, and helpful stuff. So, please avail yourself of that. All right. I am at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a look for your own altar day, a create a well-worn path to the source of your being day, a recognize that God is always waiting for you day, a free will day, a joyful day, a conscious day, a heavenly day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved child of God. You're a brilliant light. You're a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jessie likes to call us, you are a godling. I encourage you to explore the truth of your being. Not who you have been told you are, but who God knows you to be. Peel back the layers of all of the material nonsense that we have been taught and get to know who God knows you to be. I promise you that person is really cool. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move into the process of my day. So I'm going to remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.